That's
Okay.
great. Recording in progress. Got it. All right, guys. So I want you guys to tell me, I want you all to pretend like you're your own company or you're the manager of some company and you're looking at these people, okay? And I want you to tell me what you think about these people. So I would love for you guys to just kind of unmute and tell me what you think, and you can mute again, all right? So if this person were to come into your like what would you think of this person? Is this someone like let's say you had a daycare center and you had a lot of little children around, would you really like this person if you saw this person? Would you want to hire them? If no, tell me why. Well, it looks like you guys are putting in chat, huh? All right. Claire, thank
Absolutely
you.
not.
Yes,
He
Claire,
looks
thank
like
you
he
for
has
saying
anger issues.
he looks like he's got anger issues, right? And what if he were on Zoom like this and you're doing an interview? Could you imagine what your thoughts would be? Like, imagine if like your parents are really, really old, maybe some of them already are, and they needed someone to just be watched over. Would you hire this person? I see, I think some of you are saying, yes, I want to get back at my parents, but that's not the point, right? Okay, so let's look at this next person. All right. What does this person look like? What's his body language saying here?
He looks kind of sleep deprived.
Sleep deprived, yes.
He
Bored.
seems like he
Thank
doesn't
you.
really care about the job.
He doesn't care. What makes you think he doesn't care about the job?
He just looks like he has no interest in what you're saying.
Really? What gives you that impression?
I think the expression and then like the leaning on his hand is
Yeah,
not very
right? Right?
attentive.
Absolutely. All right. Let's do a couple more here. How about this guy? What do you think? What does he say with his expression to you? If you were to put up, if this were a meme, how would you capture this? Nervous? He looks scared. Yeah, very good. Last one here. How about this one? This one's gonna hit personal for some of you guys because you guys are at home. So this guy's got animals on his bed. He's eating his corn dog and waffles. He's does he look like he wants to be here in this on this call? No, right? Absolutely. And it's so important because here's the crazy thing. Every one of these people that you saw just gave you a first impression, and they can't ever make another first impression with you. You only get one chance to make that first impression, and that's the first time you actually meet the person. And so it's really important that when you are about to meet someone, whether it's for a job or whether it's, someone that you're being introduced to or whatever it be, you know, you're gonna have to be mindful of the fact that they're making a you're giving a first impression, they're making a judgment on you, right? So, so let's do this. It says, "Hi, I'm here for a job." These are all the different ways that people could greet each other, right? So I would love it. I would really love it if we can go through a little bit of an exercise where I want you guys to interview me, and maybe I'll interview you too. Okay, so here's a question that a lot of interviews start with. How many of you have actually been on a job interview? Anybody?
Aryan
Anybody have a
raising
job?
his hand.
Who?
Aryan's raising his hand.
Aryan. Aryan. Hi, Aryan. I'm Kenny. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just say, Aryan, that was amazing how you did that. You
Thank
did
you.
you did you did several things here, and I don't know if you know that you're doing this. You went from this to you sat up. That's amazing. You sitting up tells me that you are respecting my time and you want to give your best impression to me. That was awesome. Another thing you did was you smiled. And then you said, "Hi, nice to meet you too." Those are three things that are amazing that you just did. I'm inclined to hire you right now without even knowing what you want as a job. That makes a big, big, big difference. Okay.
Mhm.
And a lot of times people think like, well, I'm just being myself. You know, if they can't accept me for who I am, well, mind you, the person that you really are may not be the person you're portraying yourself to be, right? Because your body language says something, says this, you know. Okay. So Ariane, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I'd love to be a professional actor.
Okay, great. So let's say you're a director now,
Hmm.
and let's say you're a casting director now, and you got this big movie that's coming on, and I'm interviewing for a role. I want you to interview me for just like a minute. So give it a shot.
Could you tell me a little bit about yourself, like your skill set, anything, any skills that you might have that might be valuable to this job?
Yeah, yeah. So this is for the ice cream shop cashier position, right, Ariane?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Uh, um, or is this for the acting thing? I kind of forget. I'm kind of applying for a lot of jobs, you know?
Sure. It is for the acting one, but
Oh, okay, okay. All right, that's cool. How much does it pay?
I um, you didn't know that before you came in here?
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking for something, you know. So
Okay.
when can I go on my first vacation?
Well, that'll depend if you get the job. Like
Oh, wait, hold
if.
on a second. Hold on a second. I just got to text my friend for a second.
Mm,
Okay, I'm good now. I'm back.
mhm.
All right. So Ariane, would you hire me?
No,
Why?
absolutely not.
Why?
You didn't know which job you were coming in for?
Yeah. What else? What else turned you off about the way I approach this?
You were very like you couldn't hold eye contact. Your
Great.
first question was about when you could stop working.
Yeah.
Um,
Ariane, I think you're going to be a good boss. I think you're very, very observant. You're catching it very quickly. This is exactly the way all of you guys saw me interview for a job with Ariane is exactly how everyone else is going to look at you in the same way. All right. So I'm sorry, you guys weren't even looking at me because you're looking at a screen, huh?
We can sort of see you on
It's
the,
all right.
yeah.
No, no, it's okay. I'll go to that in a second. So you see the screen, it says, can you tell me about yourself, right? All right. Let me stop sharing for a second. So can you tell me about yourself? That is one of the most common first questions that people will ask you, whether it's for a college interview or a job interview or an internship interview or anything interview. It's a very, very common question. And people should say, hey, can you tell me about yourself? What do you think are important things to include in that answer?
like things that you do with your time when you're not working or doing schoolwork.
That's fantastic. I think that's an excellent thing to do. Now, be careful of like, don't say things that'll incriminate you, right? Now, what do you do on your spare time? Well, I like to really make life miserable for my little brother. It's kind of fun. Like you don't want to talk about stuff like that, but you do want to make it personal, right? What else? Well, I'm going to make it easier for you. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen and I'm going to show you something.
Hayden said your skill set that explains you as a person, like you're kind, hardworking, and courageous.
Cadence, that's an excellent answer. That is an excellent answer because here's kind of a tip right here. So we call it an elevator speech. All right. Do you know what an elevator speech is? Yeah. Hey, Ariane, tell me what you know about an elevator speech.
An elevator speech is like a quick pitch that you can give to an employer or someone that you're selling an idea to, and
Yep.
it should be short enough to convince them, like in the span of an elevator ride.
Oh man, I'm ready to invest in. I'm ready to hire him or invest in him right now. I just give me his email. I gotta find out a way to invest in this kid. All right. So an elevator speech is exactly that. And because it's basically the time it takes to go from the bottom floor to the top floor as you meet someone on the elevator. And what can you say to that person to convey your message, right? So, an elevator speech, when it comes to how, answering who you are, well, here are the four things. And I'm glad you guys are recording this because I want you guys to have this. You want to keep it short, 30 to 45 seconds, 70 to 100 words if you're writing it out, right? But 30 to 45 seconds of who you are. And then you want to make it something that's interesting. You could be telling a story. It could be an emotion that you're talking through, something that's unique, right? You want to personalize, cater to your audience, right? You want to towards your, like when I was interviewing for the job with Ariane, I should have said something about myself that talks about my acting abilities. And lastly, confidence. You want to be confident. You want to be sure of yourself. But you don't want to be arrogant, right? And so those are the four things that I'd love for you guys to include when you are thinking about how do I present myself. So I Mrs. Han, I don't know if I'm allowed to like give out like gift cards or anything like that. Is that against the rules or
Never. That's never against the rules. We love
okay.
gift cards.
Okay. I would love to can I give you the gift card so you can send it to them electronically or something?
Sure, sure.
Okay. I will give a $10 Amazon gift card to anybody who will give me their elevator speech. It doesn't even have to be a good one. It
But
just has to be, yeah, Mrs. Han.
so when someone's like saying, tell me about yourself, doesn't it have to pertain to like a specific job? So let's say you're gonna interview to work at the ice cream shop. Like
Sure.
you're introducing yourself has to be sort of related to the job. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So with this elevator speech, could I ask you guys to go ahead? Hold on a second, please. Hold on. Hello?
Yes.
All right, sorry about that. It was getting really rowdy over here. Okay, so I had to find a place to do this call. So can you guys tell me, like, hey, I want to be this, and then give me an elevator speech? So you could be like, I want to work in an ice cream shop, so here's my elevator speech. I want to be I don't know, I want to be a video game artist. Here's my elevator speech. So anyone who can do this, or at least the first, I don't know, four or five, I'm going to throw out gift cards and your way.
Can you
Okay.
can you do an example? I feel
Oh
like
yeah, sure.
that would be helpful.
Sure. So so I build organizations for a living. That's what I do. So I would be like, hi, my name's Kenny. It's really good to meet you. I've been building organizations for quite a long time, longer than most of you guys have been alive. And it's really exciting because people think that I'm a bad guy because I fire people all the time. But I actually hire 100,000 people for every 10,000 people that I get rid of. And I feel like I read people pretty well, and I think I'd be great for your organization because I bring some sense of humanity to a job that seems so cold-hearted. And so I'm pretty confident in that. I feel good about who I am, and a lot of people come to me for advice, so I think I'll be all right. Period. That wasn't even a good one. Gosh, Mrs. Han put me on the spot. Dang it.
All
All
right.
right.
Claire. By the way, if you volunteer, you don't have to do that question on the discussion part. I'll give you credit for it. But go
Oh,
ahead. Claire's
yeah,
gonna
and
volunteer first.
like 30 seconds, all I need.
Okay. So I would like to perform a recital at the church. I am
Oh,
a classical violinist and
oh,
I have been learning violin for about 8 years. But
uh-huh.
before that, I did a little bit of piano and also I do some singing. My mother taught me when I was little. And so my plan for this concert would be to play the Bach double violin concerto, accompanied by my friend Ariane, who is my violin teacher and also a pianist.
Wow, that's fantastic, Claire. Thank you so much. And you know what? Not only did you do a great job in staying true to yourself and going forward, but you were brave enough to go first. I think that is amazing. That takes some serious, serious guts. And so for that, I definitely look forward to sending that gift card your way. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Shaden
Anyone
had her
else?
hand up. Shaden and then Aryan. Go ahead, Shaden.
Alrighty, so I would probably be interviewing for a dermatology PA position because that's what I'm planning on going into. I've always
Wow.
been interested in skin and dermatology for a very, very long time. I'm a very goal-oriented person. I'm very persevering, hardworking, and I think that I would be a very good person for this job because I have done many hands-on activities such as EMT. I've been very proactive from a young age of completing college work during high school. And I have known that I've wanted to do this for a very long time. And I think I would be a very good candidate for this
Oh,
position.
Shaden, you're hired. That was fantastic. I love your confidence. I love your energy. I love the way that you personalize it. You talked about how you've been doing it. You gave examples of what you've already done or what you're doing, and that you've enjoyed doing this for a long period of time. It's something very personal to you. So that I felt the passion behind it, and I totally feel like I'm doing like some kind of like I don't know, The Voice or American Idol, and I'm like Simon Cowell, but I feel terrible about that, but fantastic. Thank you so much, Shaden.
Thank
All
you.
right, Aryan volunteered next.
Hi, my name is Aryan. As I said before, I'd love to be an actor, and I think I'm perfect for this job because not only have I been working on high-level sets professionally for the past almost 13 years, but above all, I love this job. I've been doing it for this long, and it's what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. I've been working with so many and have been lucky enough to meet so many unique and diverse people that I think I have the experience and the ability to keep up with some of the more faster paced sets.
Oh, fantastic. You know, you showed humility by saying how, that you've been surrounded by these kinds of people, but you also with confidence about your actual skills and your experience. That is fantastic, Arian. I think that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Wow, you guys are good at this.
Anyone else want to give it a shot? All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I do have to sign off, but Ms. Han, what I'll do is those three people I will send a $10 gift card to. Anybody else that decides to do it after the call with each other, with like, kind of like pairing up or something, just give me the list afterwards, and I'll be sure to send $5 gift cards to those people.
Nice.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Are there any questions before I log off?
What are your top three don'ts? Maybe top three do's and top three don'ts when going for a job.
Well, let's talk. Well, should we do this in person or on Zoom? How would you like me to answer that? A
Um,
little different.
are you guys all doing Zoom interviews or are you doing in-person interviews? Or both?
All right, let's do in person because that's going to happen more frequently. So one of the things, and it's a lot of what Ariane did at the beginning. When you see someone and you greet them, you go right in and you look them in the eye. That's a big difference. And I know it's really awkward for you guys sometimes. It's like, man, that person's stare. I mean, I gotta look at him in the face. It's so awkward, like eye to eye. It's so weird. You know what? A lot of times that sense of weirdness comes because you're wondering what they're looking at. Like, how are they staring at me? And what are they thinking when they look at me? Forget that. I want you to stare at them. I want you to stare them down. And don't worry about what they're thinking about you because you know what? They're thinking about what do you think about them? So just look at him in the eye and that would be great. Smile. Just think of a nice, pleasant thought, whatever it is, and smile. So look at him, smile, and then just a nice handshake. A nice handshake is one that it holds. It's not like you're trying to crush their hand, but you're also not trying to like, here, can you hold my hand? You're not trying to be flimsy. So just something gentle where you're kind of going there. Claire, you got a question?
Yes, I sometimes have a problem with this because I am left-handed and my instinct sometimes is to do it left-handed, but most people want to do the handshakes right-handed because most people are right-handed.
You know what, Claire? I think the right way to do that is try to do it with your right hand, right?
Mhm.
Try. But if your left hand goes out first and they look at you like, what are you doing? Say, just laugh it off and go, I'm so sorry, I'm left-handed. And they
Yes.
will remember you forever. They're gonna be like, man, this one person, she came up and gave me a left-handed handshake because she's left-handed. How unique is that? So when you do something that's a little off, just own it and just say, that's why I did it. And they'll laugh and they'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. So don't worry too much about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a great question. So eye contact, smile, and shake their hand. I think if you do that, like, I've never met Aryan, but he literally just sat up and smiled and said hi. And I was already impressed with him. You got to understand that most hiring decisions are made in the first 12 seconds. In the first 12 seconds, the person that's hiring you has kind of made up most of their mind. So if they like you in the first 12 seconds, you're good. If they don't like you in the first 12 seconds, you have a lot of making up to do. Ellie, were you fixing your hair or were you raising your hand? Don't lie. I saw you raise your hand. Come on. Okay.
It's
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. All right. Well, Ms. Todd,
Any,
please. Yeah, if there's
oh,
anything that I
I
don't
was
think
gonna say any like absolute don'ts,
absolute don'ts.
like don't be on time.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God. Yeah. There's a saying that I have at home, and it's early is on time and on time is late. So if your appointment is, I mean, I was rushing back. I literally like inhaled my lunch meeting food so I can be here on time. You cannot be late. I know you might think like, well, I was only 10 seconds late. 10 seconds late is late. It's not only 10 seconds late. And basically, this is what it means. When you're late, you're basically telling the other person, I really don't have any respect for your time. I demand that you work on my schedule. I know that's not what you said, but that's what's felt on the other side. So don't be late. And, like be clean, like brush your hair, like brush your teeth. Wear clothes that kind of fits a little bit. I mean, you'd be surprised at like, the standard has dropped so low that if you guys just act in a fairly respectful way, you're way ahead of everyone else. And even when I see you guys right now on screen, I mean, most of you are really, really good at presenting yourself clearly. And presenting yourself clearly is a big, big thing. And so I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you for taking time out of your workday to come.
oh no, this was exciting. It's a pleasure. You guys are all amazing, and I'm rooting for you guys. And this time, please take the names down and let me know how many gift cards to send over.
Will do. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.